Honorable members, welcome back from the suspension. We'll move on to the order paper item 7. Item 7, we did 7A before we suspended sitting. And so we'll move to 7B. 7B by the chairman of the committee. I, being the chairman, I will mandate. You wanted to say something? The majority leader and leader of the House to do so on my behalf.
Report of the Committee of Selection on the composition of the appointments and business committees.
Honorable members, the report is accordingly presented to the House and is for distribution to all members of Parliament. Please, table office, see to it that members get copies. Yes, there's indication that members have, even though not all, but ushers, please distribute the rest of the copies to members. In the meantime, we may proceed to item 8. Item 8, again, item 8, again, I mandate the majority leader to move the motion. It's a procedural motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that item 8, advertised on today's order paper, page 2, be taken now. I so move.
Sorry, not item 8. Item 10. 10.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that item numbered 10 on today's order paper, page 2, be taken now. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
Speaker, I rise to second the motion move, except to add that I wondered why the majority leader, without any disrespect to him, he's not a member of the selection committee, he was not at the meeting. I just saw it. The whole day I haven't seen you. He just walked in. It's without any prejudice and without any disrespect. Why him? Why the minority leader? Because he has been here the whole day. Your good friend, the minority leader, has been here the whole day. Speaker, I have been here the whole day. Honorable Kwame Agboja has been here the whole day. Speaker, he just walked in. Speaker, I'm not challenging your powers. And I know you have the right to select anybody. But we have been here the whole day. And we understand these matters. He has not been here. I don't know if he's still lobbying and he's still moving the corridors of power lobbying. But he has not been here. He was not, Speaker, he is not, Doctor, you are not a member of the selection committee. Why are you in a hurry to move this motion? Speaker, I think he has.
Yes.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I can understand Honorable Anodom Prayer. Mr. Speaker, I can understand him in the sense that he's 1 day old in opposition, and he's trying to experiment how opposition looks like. And so, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure he wants to communicate to his constituents that he is now opposition chief whip. Welcome to the club. Mr. Speaker, I was asked by your good self to move the motion on your behalf. Right, Honorable Speaker, you are the chairperson of that committee, the Committee of Selection. I'm only a member of the committee. And so, Mr. Speaker, you have the right to ask any of the members of the committee to move a motion on your behalf. I'm only doing what you've asked me to do, Mr. Speaker. And rightly so, I urge him to second the motion for us to make progress. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I heard you second the motion.
I'm convinced that he's working on other matters in our collective interest. So to that end, I would rather suspend my commentaries and second the motion.
Honorable members, the horse bolted before his submission. He could have, from the onset, when I mandated the majority leader to move the motion, raised the issue that he raised after seconding the motion. But since he didn't do that and seconded the motion and now proceeded to say what he said, it was too late in the day and the matter became not relevant after the secondment of the motion. So please, honorable members, we'll proceed and I put the question. Those in favor of motion number 10 on the order paper, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. We now move to item 11 on the order paper. Yes, Majority Leader. Oh, the horse hasn't come back. I can give you opportunity if you want to talk.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that this House adopt the report of the Committee of Selection on the composition of the appointment and business committees. Mr. Speaker, in doing so, I will present the committee's report and move straight to item 3.0, recommendations. Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends as follows. 1, that considering the urgent need to facilitate the business of the House and that of government, the committee, in the meantime, composes the membership of the business and appointment committees to the House for approval. Right, Honorable Speaker, the committee also recommended that per the approval ratio of 183 to 88 and the convention and practices of the House, 15 members of the business committee works out to 10 members of the majority caucus and 5 for the minority caucus. In respect of the appointment committee, 11 members of the committee works out to 7 members for majority caucus and 4 members for the minority caucus. Right, Honorable Speaker, in Order 2172, which requires that additional members from relevant committees would join the members of the appointment committee in the performance of its duty, the committee resolves that work as soon as practicable will be done and submit the membership for the rest of the committees for approval of the House, and that the composition of the 3 committees are captured in tables 1, 2, and 3. That can be found in page 3, page 4, and page 5. The Speaker, the conclusion is that the committee respectfully recommends to the House to adopt this report and approve the membership of Appointment and Business Committee as composed and recomposition of the committees of selection based on the ratio of 183 to 88. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Honorable members, any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader cannot just move a motion and expect this House to second for us to make progress when there are fundamental matters, including issues of quorum. Mr. Speaker, he as majority leader should know that there are new members of this House. This morning I checked and I drew his attention that there are a lot of empty seats in this chamber. He knows that members are here and you are the leader of the House. Your duty, ensure that matters of welfare are attended to. It is your duty. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker,
please, you are a leader.
Mr. Speaker,
The issue you just mentioned at conclave, we discussed it at conclave. So it's not for you to raise it now on the, please.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I am guided by your good counsel. Mr. Speaker, the appeal is not coming from behind me. It's coming more from the other side. So I spoke for the silent majority. Mr. Speaker, I spoke for the silent majority. Oh, so you don't want your welfare. Oh, okay. It's not coming from the new MPs. You are an old MP. You are an old MP. The new ones, you are not interested? The new ones, you are not interested? Oh, you are not interested? Mr. Speaker, I beg to second the motion.
Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is for the consideration of the House. Yes, please.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Let me start off by commending your good self for the prompt response for this matter to be dealt with. I can only commend you for the good leadership shown. Particularly also to commend my good friend, the Honorable Governors, the Chief Whip, who has been very instrumental in ensuring that the composition of these three critical committees are done with. The report goes ahead to capture the basis of the reasoning why we have to compose these committees, Committee of Selection, the Business Committee, and the Appointment Committee. Again, the report goes ahead to talk about the ratio, and this comes clear. So, in times past, Speaker, whips have come under a lot of pressure. When these committees are composed, then we become the punching bag, and it becomes an issue in this House. Thankfully, the report has laid bare the fact that the Committee of Selection is chaired by the Speaker. The membership has been shown. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. There are more committees to be composed. So we have to appeal to our colleagues that it is too early in the day. We are here to compose all the committees. This is just 3 out of the lot. And they are to set the tone for all the other committees to be composed and for work to go ahead and be prosecuted. So there's no cause of worry. If you don't see your name amongst any of these committees, don't worry. There are other committees that we are going to compose, and your name will certainly find expression. Bear in mind the fact that the standing orders makes it clear that every member should belong to at least one select and one standing committee. Speaker, it is also particularly because the whips are working on other matters we consider very important. And hence, this matter cannot be left to outstanding matters on office allocation, which is very critical, matters of where MPs will lay their head. The minority leader was trying to give signal. Surprisingly, colleagues were not yielding to it. That is so important. So important. Majority leader, we will expect you to show leadership in these matters. Our backbenchers and our members need a place to lay their head. Chief Whip, look into my eyes and let me say something to you. You can pretend to be focusing on your phone, but this matter, you cannot pretend not to be listening. You are the Chief Whip of the majority. Government Chief Whip. What are you doing? Speaker, we want to remind you. You are not gone. You are not joined the executive yet.
Want to go and join the executive.
Intel tells us you are going, but you are not going yet. Do your work well before you leave. Ahmed, all of a sudden you have gone quiet. Honorable Ahmed, you have gone quiet. Your members need this attention. They need this support. Members are coming from all over the place, and they don't have a place to lay their head. Majority leader, do something before you die. Do something before you depart. Speaker, I can only appeal to my colleagues.
It is their duty.
This is your fundamental duty, and you cannot renege on it. You can't renege on it. Speaker, before we give approval to this report, it will not be out of place, Speaker. It will not be excessive on my part to make a humble appeal to our respected leader to show some indication. Yeah. What is the plan?
Honourable members, we have a closed sitting when we finish this matter. We have a closed sitting. I thought that it is proper we finish this. Then, if you agree, we adjourn to tomorrow. Then we can have some closed sitting here, and then some of these issues could be detailed out to the attention of members. I'm equally concerned about the matters you are raising.
Speaker, I thank you. I thank you for listening and paying attention, and also giving some very good consequential directives. And I see the leader giving signal. I hope this is a positive signal. Speaker, I thank you.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded is for the consideration of the House. Please, I told you we'll be having a closed sitting, and so if you are going to make contribution, it must be on the motion and not any other business. Yes, Honourable Ablakwa.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to contribute to the motion. And before my brief contribution, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to draw attention to an error that needs correction at page 2, item number 3.0 II. That per the approved ratio of 183:88 and the conventions and practices of the House, 11 members of a business committee, 11 in words, and then 15 is what has been provided as the figure in brackets. So it's not consistent. So the 11 in words should be changed to 15, because I can see from page 3 that it's a 15-member committee. So what is correct here is what is in brackets, the figure 15, but the words 11 ought to be corrected. So, Right Honourable Speaker, having identified that, I would like to commend your distinguished self and members of the Leadership and Selection Committee for the great job and the expedition which they have discharged their duties. The Speaker, as a House, when it comes to these committee selections, we are always particular about Article 103.5 of the Constitution. And Article 103.5 provides that, quote, the composition of the committees shall as much as possible reflect the different shades of opinion in Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, that has always been the litmus test. And going through the membership, I see that the Right Honourable Speaker and our leaders have really done a great job to comply with that constitutional provision. I see gender balance. I also see the seniority, and then fresh MPs are also being given the opportunity on both sides of the House. Those who are not too senior, who are in the middle belt, have also been given a fair opportunity. I also see regional balance. There has been a conscious effort to make sure that all our 16 regions are well represented. And so, unlike the last time when we came to consider this and the House took issue with gender representation, this time round, we see that all the different shades of the House, as the Constitution enjoins us to do, has been followed. So, Mr. Speaker, mine is just to commend you and to say that this is a very refreshing start. And we can see that when the other standing and select committees come to be populated, that will be the same spirit moving forward. So, Mr. Speaker, we commend you, we commend leadership for an excellent job done. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion. Thank you very much.
I wanted to hear from the minority side before you wind up. Majority Leader, since you moved the motion, you have the opportunity to wind up. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, much as it has been recognized by Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa about the balance and particularly mentioning gender balance. Mr. Speaker, I regret to mention over here that we on the minority side don't even have, we on the minority side did not perform well by producing too many women. But on the side of the majority, I acknowledge that we have as many as about 31 women on their side. And Mr. Speaker, I regret to mention over here that if we are talking about balancing, I expect and I would like to appeal that on their side, they have to produce more women for each of the committees than the one that we are experiencing at the moment. I remember I would only recommend and commend Mr. Speaker for the committee that he chairs. He has about 4 women on it, and it's well appreciated. But on the other committees, one is not good enough to cause the gender balance that we require. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes,
thank
please.
you once again. Mr. Speaker, I just want to bring this to attention.
Yes, a minute, because you are going to do the winding up. Yes, please.
Speaker, thank you for indulging me. If I may take members to page 3 of the report, and the Business Committee, item 6, Honorable Mohammed Adamu Ramadan, not Ramadan. I think it's very serious error. It needs to be corrected. It's Ramadan.
What is the spelling? Is it not Ramadan? That's N, not M. Yes, N, the spelling. Ramadan, not Ramadan. Yes, please. Please. Honorable Lady, yes.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'd just like to second the statement that Honorable Deputy Minority Leader made about gender balance, especially.
You want to support it?
Yes, I'd like to support her statement
Yes.
on this August House. Mr. Speaker, I'm still on the floor. I'm still on the floor. I'm still on the floor.
Honorable Lady, you may proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What I was going to say when I was rudely interrupted is that I would like to also contribute to the statement by Honorable Minority Deputy Speaker.
Honorable, please. Order.
Mr. Speaker, may I continue,
Order.
please?
Order.
So I can continue. Okay. Mr. Speaker, may I continue, please? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, may I continue? I withdraw that phrase that I used. But as I was saying, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, as I was saying,
honorable members, please let us have some order.
no, I'm not sitting down. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to continue. What I was about to say is that I'd like to contribute to the Honorable Deputy Minority Speaker's statement on gender balance. I recognize, as the Honorable Speaker is saying, what she said.
Honorable members, please. Honorable members. Honorable members, please. Honorable Lady, did I hear you use the word rudely?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw that and I apologize.
Honorable members, she has she has withdrawn. She has withdrawn the word rudely. And honorable members, please, let's encourage the new ones. We haven't. Honorable members, particularly our honorable ladies, please, our honorable ladies will get double protection from me. I am going to discriminate positively. Yes, honorable lady, you may wind up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I want to contribute to the statement on gender made by the Deputy Minority Leader, that we do indeed, I would hope, and I'm pleading with this august House, my colleagues, that we really take some affirmative steps towards gender balance on the committees and any other representation of members of parliament here on any other committees, not just the committees, but anything in the future. Because we all know that the female species, when it comes to the political space, female are an endangered species. I'm sure Mr. Speaker and my members of the honorable colleagues would agree with me. So therefore, I am wholeheartedly supporting and contributing to what the Deputy Minority Leader spoke on gender, that my colleague from the male species would also support from both sides, from both the majority side and the minority side, would also support us in making sure that we have gender balance on all the committees. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the dispensation given me to make this important point on this report. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Okudzeto-Ablakwa, although I disagree with him on a number of matters, but he's done something very exceptional. And I want to use that industry of his to make this point and underscore the point that every committee is important. And it goes to our first timers. Mr. Speaker, until the time he took over the Government Assurance Committee, little was known of the Government Assurance Committee. When we came in 2013, it was one of the committees we saw as the Siberia Committee. It took the industry of a member of parliament to make public account relevant and to become a committee for all members to get closer to. That was done. And he, when he had the opportunity of chairing government assurance, also brought it to the limelight. Mr. Speaker, I say this to encourage all colleagues, especially the first-timers. Outside of Parliament, they may know about some few committees, and carry the impression that these are the only, quote unquote, the functional committees. A committee is as good as its members and how its leadership would approach its work. So, Mr. Speaker, I am humbly pleading with the members that the most difficult task for the whips comes when they have to constitute committees. People would have their CVs and may say that, oh, I want to be on this particular committee. But, Mr. Speaker, it is important that I make this point so that colleagues will not feel that because they did not have. Mr. Speaker, I want my colleagues to listen. No, listen, Mr. Speaker. It is important that colleagues appreciate the fact that whether they are first-timers or second-timers or third-timers, any committee they get the opportunity to serve on, they have to ensure that whatever is at stake is brought to the fore. We should not be thinking
committee meeting, but I've noticed something that I believe I need to bring to the attention of the House and your good self as the chair. Right Honorable Speaker, if you were to look at page 2, paragraph 3.0, item 2, the approval ratio of 183 to 88. Speaker, this will mean that we have omitted the independent members of Parliament of 4. And there was the need for us to make that point and to note that in the subsequent committees, we will have to reflect this in the ratios. So it becomes so that the ratios will change depending on where they are doing business. Currently, we have received letters from all 4 of them that they are doing. Yes, I've received letters. Including which one? So they should write to the Speaker. Okay, so Mr. Speaker, we'll wait for them themselves to communicate to you, but my attention has been drawn. No, so Mr. Speaker, we'll wait for them to officially write to you, for them to officially write to you, and then we can make that. That's not written. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Speaker, my attention is that so far, the only the MP for Gomoa Central has written to us, but the rest are yet to write officially to confirm their positions. So, Mr. Speaker, in view of that, I think we can now put the question and adopt the report of the Committee of Selection. I so move, Speaker.
Honorable members, those Honorable members, those in favor of the adoption of the motion, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Honorable members, I received a verbal request to allow senior members to at least bully the first-timers for 3 months. And I rejected it. I rejected it. And so I will not allow any senior member of parliament to, the word they use is bully, to bully any first-timer. I will not allow that. Honorable members, may we now adjourn and then have a committee that I referred to earlier, or do we have the committee, then after that we adjourn? Which one do you prefer?
Speaker, in view of the fact that, Mr. Speaker, in view of the fact that His Excellency may be ferrying some communication to you, I humbly hold the view that you allow us, the committee, to be properly constituted, so that in the event that any communication is ferried to you, why are you nodding? Because it serves your interest. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minority Leader, we have constituted the committee.
Mr. Speaker, it's a point I'm making a consequential point. Mr. Speaker, you know,
you have 4 years to debate matters here. Don't worry at all.
Mr.
4
Speaker.
good years, and I'll give you ample time because of what we have done in this House. We have increased the hours that we are going to engage each other in debate here. The standing orders captures that clearly. Instead of us sitting for 4 hours, we've increased it to 5 hours. That is the general rule. And if you want us to sit for 10 hours, we are also, by our own rules, permitted to do so. And so this first day, you want to continue to say everything, it is not possible. So let's stick to the standing orders and the order paper today. And then we can have an adjournment till tomorrow. Don't worry. Honorable members, can we reconstitute the House into a closed sitting? So I direct that the House reconstitute itself into a closed sitting for us to discuss urgent matters, particularly with regard to the new first-timers that we have and other matters.